Is it a cross? Heck no, it's not a cross. What is that?
Got it. Hey, yeah, recording, guys.
Like a...
Let me see it. Straight up and down.
Do it.
Un ovni. Renzo. No, no puede ser, está estático.
Rich, tell us what you saw.
Hi, Elizabeth. Well, I got to be honest here. You know, when this story first came out a few weeks ago, as a resident of New Jersey, as a journalist, I didn't pay it much credence. I thought it would turn out to be a bunch of pranksters and this would all be over by now. The experience I had last night, however, changed the way I feel about this story completely. What I saw was more sophisticated than I ever imagined. Take a look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 lights, 6 lights.
I didn't believe what I was seeing, but what was I seeing? We're here in central Jersey. We've been looking for the past hour. I think we've seen about 40 or 50 of these drones. In fact, there's one over my shoulder right there. One after another, these drones appeared in the night sky. If you look real close, they look like fixed-wing aircraft, about 8 to 10 feet wide, colorful, white blinking lights.
That is not a plane.
Definitely not an airplane, but what was it? Hours earlier, I was invited to join the Ocean County Sheriff Department. They launched their own drones to see if they could intercept the mysterious aircraft New Jersey residents have been reporting in recent weeks. The department says these mystery drones evade detection because they don't give off heat like regular drones.
Why do you think that is? We don't know. It's just something that we haven't
you know, it's not something that we've had our hands on. It's not something that we've experienced.
Something they hadn't experienced until now. One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean. 50? 50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer.
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted the state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 on their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
I see one right here.
Did I see the same thing that officer saw? I'm still not sure. What I can show you is this video. What I can tell you is I've never seen anything like it before. And more than a month since these reports started, the federal government doesn't know what they are either.
What's your message to the White House?
My message: come to the Jersey Shore. You know, it's wintertime, but come see what we see, and then, you know, maybe have a better appreciation for why our residents are concerned.
I don't hear anything, and something's moving in erratic ways. It's in the shape of a jelly bean, but the interior was like plasma. It was just going like this, you know.
Chris Frederick has been a teacher for over 2 decades, and he currently works for a metro area school district. He showed us this video from January 25th. He's in his driveway off Northwest 21st in the Gatewood district. He said it all started that night when his wife wanted to go to Brahms, so they walked out to their car. But after a few minutes, neighbors were calling each other.
He started calling neighbors, and before long we were all standing out in the street and had our phones out.
Chris has been a drone pilot for about 10 years. He started working with them when he and his wife were realtors in Ardmore several years ago. He fired it up and attempted to fly his drone to get a better look at the object.
The sky at night, you have to have aviation lights or it's not legal.
But strange things started happening.
My controller talks to me, and it said unable to take off, electromagnetic interference.
After he recalibrated a few times, he eventually got it in the air and took these pictures of the object, which he estimates is around 1,500 feet off the ground. His drone was at about 400 feet when he took the pictures.
It concerns me that something was up there at night at that altitude that could have been a hazard.
He said his video function wouldn't work, which was odd. And there was something else. Only about 4 minutes and 18 seconds of flight time.
It had a fresh battery in it that has a 35-minute flight life. And as soon as I took those 3 pics, my controller said a low battery, return to home.
شنو يا استاذ يا سبحان الله شيء طاير بالهواء شنو هذا الله اكبر الله اكبر الله اكبر شنو هذا؟ شنو؟
شكل الدم هذا تبع عليه زين.
شنو هذا؟ ايه جاي يصور. والله بيتصل شنو هذا؟ لا مو بيتصل. جاي جاي. وين؟ جاي والله. تمام. لا مو بيتصل. ما اعرف شنو هذا. العشاء احمر ومنقد.
Yo, what is this? What is this? That is my plan. I walk in store and I've been orb spotting for the last couple of hours. Let's go.
Can't see it, but there's like a fucking reflective ball just spinning and flying. What the fuck is that, bruh? Nigga, what?
It has like a little field around it. Guys.
Fuck me.
Guys.
Fuck my ass. It's gone. Look, it's gone. It's fucking gone.
This is the shit we see out here. I'm telling you, we see UFOs all the time. C'est quoi? Ah, je comprends. Oh putain, mais c'est quoi ça? Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? T'as pris les photos? Non, c'est en vidéo. un avion. J'ai dit non. Ça en va loin.
My screen. Come here. Where'd it go? Can you still see it? Come here. Where is it? Let's go where it's at then. Where is it? Where?
That's moving so fast. For scale, that's an airplane that I see, and that's a helicopter. I thought maybe it was a helicopter, but it's just going, and there's another airplane. That thing is just moving. That's crazy.
Mirá, 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 mirá. Alta luz, Están todos viendo lucecitas allá adelante. En el video se ve zarpado, ¿no? Buenísimo. Es el Omni. Bien, amigo. No, cuando empezó a hacer. Vamos, Honda.
JP just spotted this really shiny, oblique UFO thing in the sky.
What's that? That?
I don't know what these things are.
Хоть бы поймать его. Очень тяжело, когда здесь такое солнце. О! Да.
across the country get to see all of the amazing things that the Army has done, whether it's helping with floods in North Carolina or wildfires in California, or we talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon who's a soldier. We talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon who's a soldier. We talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon who's a soldier.
Balloon?
నిజమైన యాక్టర్ బయటకు రావాలి. ల్యాండ్ ఓవర్ లోనే మనం పెట్టాలండి. ఆ చుట్టుపక్కల
Тихо.